so sad that you are no longer on the show. I loved you on the show.
Thank you. Yes, I was so first of all, I wasn't shocked that they murdered me, but it's so like disappointing to not be there because I'm like, I had some unfinished work to do, but it was
What what was some of that unfinished business that you really wanted to dive into?
so after the roundtable where Rob the drag queen was banished, I was convinced that Rob was a traitor.
Okay.
Just based on drag queen's response, his response was he was so angry and emotional and visceral and shocked. And I was like, oh, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
So I knew I was going to get Rob out the next day. And but I also knew I was going to get murdered because Bob the drag queen was at the mission telling me, you need a shield, you need a shield. He was so like frustrated with me because I wasn't like going after shield. I was just helping getting the statues up, and he was like adamant that I needed a shield. So after he was murdered, I was like, oh, I mean banished. After he was banished, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm next. Yeah, no, I
What
was
was it
surprised.
like yes, what was it like kind of watching it back with Rob, Danielle, and Carolyn kind of, trying to figure out who that they were, because Rob said your name first and they were like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was so disappointing. I was
Mm.
like, I knew I was getting murdered, but watching the episode, I was like disappointed because I was that's it. Like you all just picked a name and like, oh, okay, let's just murder Robyn because the heat is off of her. What? I was like, come on, y'all gotta have a better reason for murdering me at this point. I was highly disappointed, and at that point, like I know, they were a little kind of discombobulated because Rob had just done what he did at the round table and the emotions were probably a little bit different. So I don't think they put a lot of thought into the murder. I think they were still on like a emotional high. And so maybe I was just like the sacrificial lamb because they really couldn't think strategically.
Yeah, no, it was like I was disappointed too. I'm like, wait, that's it? No, she can't go out like that.
I was looking forward to like finding out why they murdered me. And then it was just like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna murder her. What?
Walk me through what it is like to get murdered on the Traitors. Like, do they wake you up out of like your deep slumber and like do you have to like sneak around the mansion? What is that like?
Well, so I don't know how much I can say, but we're all ready to go to breakfast. And,
Okay.
we all kind of, as you can see, we all do confessionals throughout the day. And
Mhm.
so at any point during the game, they can pull you and say, hey, you need to come do a confessional. And so but if you get pulled to do a confessional before breakfast, that doesn't mean that you were murdered, right?
Mm.
But there's a chance that if you get pulled to do a confessional before breakfast, that you were murdered. So I know that I've seen it happen both ways, where
Got it.
like someone's has to do a confessional and they show up at breakfast, and then you see someone does a confessional and they don't show up at breakfast, and so it's really pretty straightforward. It's like we're ready to go to breakfast, and you go do your confessional and you find out that you were murdered.
So it's a genuine surprise when you like see that envelope there. You're like,
Yeah.
ah, damn.
Yeah.
What did you make watching the rest of the episode unfold, especially now that the traders are turning against one another? It seems like it's going to be like pandemonium going forward.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I was so mad that I wasn't there because like I said, I was convinced that Rob was a traitor and I was
Mhm.
so ready to get him out at the round table. And then secondly, I had also shifted my thinking away from the people in the caskets as being traitors because I just really stepped back and I was like, why would the traders put themselves in a casket or a coffin or whatever to draw attention to themselves? Like that wouldn't happen. I don't foresee any trader volunteering to do that. And so
Mhm.
I would have been able to be the round table to kind of shift everyone's thinking away from the coffin people, Nikki and Sierra, and towards Boston Rob. So I was super frustrated that I was not there to do it because I was going to make it happen. Um, but then watching the traders, I'm watching them. I'm like, okay, you all are a hot mess. I actually messaged Carolyn last night. I'm like, you all are a hot mess. Why did you murder me? But you're a hot mess. Um, and you can just see that it's going to implode. Like, but it's very compelling television. It's this is something we've never seen before
Mhm.
on Traitors, like seasons 1 and 2, like where it happens this early or this to this degree. But Boston Rob really like he blew things up. He took a wrong step, I think, in getting rid of Drag Queen.
Mhm.
But I understood why I got rid of Drag Queen because Drag Queen was dominating everything. And I think
Mhm.
Boston Rob needed him out of his way.
Out of the three traders, who do you think is going to kind of work like strategically work their magic the best out of everybody? Because it's kind of like you said, it's a little early for this mess to be going on.
Yeah. I mean, so when I found out who the traders were,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, Carolyn's going to make it all the way, because
Yeah.
she was so under the radar and so like, oh, I miss my dog. Like, that's the only thing that she would like talk about. And so I was like, oh, I'm like, Carolyn has got this. But watching them, I mean, I still feel like Carolyn can probably, I don't know. See, you know what it is? Okay. Dylan believes that Danielle is a faithful. He trusts
Mhm.
Danielle. So, and since Danielle planted that seed in Dylan's head about Carolyn, that might be Carolyn's downfall.
Mm.
I got to see how it happens though. But they,
How would you feel if you were Nikki and how Chriselle kind of flipped a switch on her?
oh my gosh. I'm sure Nikki was like, well, so I saw Nikki because we do the Traitors revealed afterward,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so she was so defeated. She was like, they all turned on me, and my friends turned on me. She was very defeated. So I know that hurt her. I'm curious, like, if she's gotten over it today. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know, but that's the way it's like you can't go into this game expecting anything from anyone. Like if had Ion been a traitor and murdered me or whatever, or if Ion had accused me of being a traitor, like I would understand because this game is mentally stressful and confusing and you're all over the place. You don't know what to believe. You're looking at the people closest to you for clues because
Mhm.
you know them the best. And so hopefully Nikki understands that it is part of the game and it wasn't, personal. But she was pretty defeated
Yeah.
after.
Were you aware of everybody on the cast, like Survivor and things like that? Are you big fans of these shows? I know Ayan was on a podcast and she's like, I thought members of Survivors were like people that survived diseases or a drought.
Okay, so I was a little bit more informed than Ayan, but no, I had no idea who any of them were except for Boston Rob. I just
Yeah. Mhm.
Boston Rob was one of the originals, and but as far as the rest of them, I mean, all of the gamers, see the Big Brother and Survivor and the Challenge and the whatever. Like I didn't know any of them. I had never seen those people in my life before, and
Yeah.
it was cool. It's like
Mhm.
I'm meeting these people and interacting with them on just, as human beings, as,
Mhm.
Tony the police officer and Jeremy the firefighter. It's not like, oh, you're the survivor legend. Like, no clue.
No clue. And then I just one more question. I miss you on Potomac. It's not the
Thank
same for me. How does it feel for you? Are you watching this season? Are you tuning in? And how does life feel without Potomac cameras?
So I've actually been on a Housewives detox. I
Okay.
haven't watched any Housewives. I don't watch a ton of TV, to be honest.
Mhm.
So I haven't been keeping up with anything. I see little bits and pieces online. But to be honest, it was very refreshing for me to not be on. It was a good just let me just clean the slate. So, while I loved my experience on Housewives, I definitely appreciated my time away from it.
Definitely. Well, Robyn, it's great to see you. Great to catch up. Wish it was
Yeah.
under better circumstances and you could have been there to the end, but
I
you
know.
were great on the show. You really were.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone's support.
Definitely. It's good seeing you.
You too. Take care.